Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm Amanda of Inspiring Inkin. Welcome to my craft room. In today's video we're going to be making this card, which I'm calling a floral box frame card. The floral is quite straightforward. It's a lovely stamp set called Southern Serenade, and the box frame is the inside. So you've got this gorgeous frame with some more embellishments and stamping on the inside. You have got a place to write here for the card, and I'll just turn it around actually, you'll be able to see the dimension a little bit better. So let's turn the camera around and get crafting. So here is the card in close-up. You can see the stitched framelets on the edge, and then as you open it up, it's a beautiful box frame, and it stands, I'm hoping the camera's going to be able to pick that up. Obviously you've got this section here. It stands really beautifully. You've got somewhere to write on the inside as well. The card itself actually isn't a standard size, so it's 4.5 by 6, so you will need to get your envelope punch board and make yourself an envelope to fit, but that's really straightforward and easy to do. So I'm quickly going to run through all the things that we're going to be using, and then we'll get crafting. So the colours I have are Early Espresso, Daffodil Delight and Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to be colouring in using a blender pen. The stamp set is Southern Serenade. I am using Butterfly Punch. I'm hoping it's back in stock. These have been selling like hotcakes, so I'm hoping that they're back now. So we're going to be using the Butterfly Punch. And then we're going to be using 2 rectangles from this set, which is the rectangle stitch framelit dies. These are incredible. They they cut a rectangle, but they stitch on both sides. So this Early Espresso layer here, you can see the stitching on there, and that was actually what popped out of here. And I'm really hoping you're going to be able to see the stitching line on here. So it gives you sort of double duty. It does the stitching on both sides, which is fantastic. Obviously, we're going to need a big shot. I would recommend some double-sided tape and some glue dots. And that, I think, is everything. So let me just quickly show you. This is one of my templates. So when I'm designing cards, I make a template and I write on all of the layers, all of the different pieces that we're going, and the things on the back. I really recommend when you're making cards, like folding cards, moving cards, that you do the same, and then you've got something to refer back to, because it's lovely to make a card like this, but once you've sent it, then you might forget. So I always make a template like this. Now, one thing about the measurements, as I am going, obviously I will tell you the measurements, but don't worry if you don't catch them as I'm saying them. Just scroll down, whether you're on YouTube or on my blog, and you'll be able to see all the measurements detailed out, so you can take them down from there. And as always, all of the products that you're going to see today are available in my online store. You can either go to www.inspiringinkin.com, which is my website and blog, and click on the shop button there. Or if you just scroll down YouTube, or if you're already on my blog, and there'll be links to all of the items. So let's get the cardstock and things out and get my measurements ready. So this first piece of Early Espresso card is A4 in length by 6 inches. Now, if you're in North America, you are going to need to use a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So it'll be 6 inches, and then it's actually 11 3/4 inches. So that's how you would actually cut it down. And I'm going to use my scoreboard, and we are going to score this at 1/2 inch 4.5, 5 and 9, and that's all the scoring we're going to do. So that's quick and easy. Just fold on all those score lines. You can use a bone folder if you want, but just creasing them will work. And just so I can show you this card, this piece is the back and this piece here is the box piece. Okay, so that's the piece that makes the box, and then we're going to put an extender on here. So the extender piece is a piece of cardstock which is 4.5 inches by 6, and I'm just going to put glue on this. And then that piece is going to go on there like that. Okay, so that's going to be the front flap. And don't worry about this, we're going to cover this later on. So now what we need to do is to cut out this aperture here. And for that, we are going to use one of the rectangle framelets. And in the set, it is 1, 2, 3, the fourth biggest from those. And just make sure you know which piece you're cutting. So this small section here is actually going to glue down later. So here is where we're going to cut. So if you grab hold of that and your rectangle, that is where that's going to go. I'm going to grab my big shot. Now I have found, let me go that way. I have found with these dies that it does help if you wind it through and back. I think it's to do with the double stitching. It just needs a little bit of extra pressure. Now, of course, what you can do is you can stick this down with washi tape, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to position it where I need it and then pin it down. Now this cardstock at 6 inches is just the width to go through the big shot. So, so make sure it's lined up. My feet are slipping on the grid paper. Well, not my feet, the big shot feet. Hang on. Right, let's get it going. Okay, it's going to clunk. Don't worry. And then I'm going to wind it back. See? Clunk and clunk again. Okay. I'm going to move the big shot out of the way now. Whoa. And bring this in. And can you see the double layer of stitching? It's really cool. So just really gently tease this out. You don't want to tear it as you're going. So basically what I'm doing is I'm lifting the die and sort of easing the cardstock. You can see I've got, look, there's a little bit of fluff there. Let me just trim that off. There. And then lift that piece through. Gently, gently, gently. Hurrah. So that's going to be going on the front layer in a little while. And again, just each time you're looking at the card, this piece is folding over. So the hole has got to be on that right hand side. So that's the cutting. I have already cut another layer for the front, which is this one. And that, which rectangle die is that one? Yeah. I've already lost a die. How can that happen? Okay, it's this one. So the aperture was the fourth one down. This one was the 5th one down. So that's the one that I used. So they will mat and layer together beautifully like that. So that's going to be for the front. Then what other layers do you need to know about? So you need 2 pieces of Whisper White. Yes, that's right. 2 pieces of Whisper White, and they are 5 3/4 by 3 3/4 inches. So they're for the 2 inside layers. And then the matte layer for the front. So this one is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to do all of my stamping now, and then I will do the assembly. Now, there will be a couple of times when I speed the video up because I'm going to be doing some fussy cutting and other bits and pieces and colouring, and you don't need to see that on the go slow. So let's start with this flower. So I love this Southern Serenade stamp set. It's absolutely one of my favourite stamp sets. And as beautiful as all these images are, this happy birthday is, to me, it's just a perfect happy birthday. I love it. So I'm just going to straighten up that grid paper a little bit. Okay. So that's going to be for the front. Actually, that isn't, because it's got a smudge on it. Clean my stamp. A piece of cardstock stuck in the stamp. It's a good job I cut an extra one. There we go. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, so that's for the front. Then for the inside, I've got that one. And then for this inside, I'm going to be stamping the flower. So now I'm going to be using this lovely lace stamp set. Stamp even. I'm going to ink it up and I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp it on there for the inside. So that piece is finished. And what I tend to do when I'm building up a card like this is I'm stamping all the elements, and then I'll do all the cutting or all the colouring in, and then I'll assemble it. It just means then that you've got all of the things together. So I'm going to ink up the lace again, ink it off, and then stamp over the top. So this piece has got to be coloured in. This piece has got other little elements on it, and I need some butterflies. So I am going to, again, ink it up and stamp it a couple of times. So I want 3 of the little butterflies, and I'm just going to play around with the punch till I get butterflies, sort of a variety of colours and patterns, or shades and patterns. So let me do that one. Then I'm just going to do one more. Oh, sort of a bit more two-tone. There we go. So I've got some butterflies. What else do I need? Right, so I need some flowers that I can 3D. So I'm going to ink up the lace stamp again, and then stamp over the top, and I'm going to cut out 3 of those flowers. So that, I think, is all of the stamping. Yeah, I just need to do some colouring in now. So those 2 elements need colouring in. I'm going to start with the leaves. So this is Pear Pizzazz, and that's good. I've already got Pear Pizzazz on the marker, on the blender. So this is a blender pen. It works with all water-based inks, and basically it does what it says. It blends the inks. So there's some magical chemicals in there, including glycerin, and that's what makes it run. So it works really well. So I'm just going to pick up the colour and colour in this flower. So I'm going to be quiet now, and then I'm going to speed it up, and yeah, you'll be able to see me going quickly. Okay, so that is all of the colouring that I needed to do. I have realised I've got one more piece of stamping that I haven't done, which is the happy birthday on the gingham paper. On this card, I'm actually going to use the smaller checks. Excuse me. Just for a change. So there we go. Or maybe not. I've caught the... It's all going wrong today. I've caught the top of my stamp. Okay, we'll do it this way instead. Let me just clean that stamp. Let's try that again. There we go. It obviously wanted to be that side of the paper. Right, so a little bit more speeding up now. I am going to fussy cut these flowers, and let me just chop this out so I can actually kind of show you which of the 3 flowers I'm cutting out. So I'm cutting out that one, and then these 2, but I'm actually going to cut them along that join line so that they're actually individual. Again, I will whiz this forwards. Okay, so we are now at assembly. So that is really quite quick. I just need some rhinestones and glue dots and double-sided tape. Oh, and Tombow, obviously. So we're going to put the front of the card on. So just double check, you know where the front is. So the aperture is on the right, so this is the front. Then that piece is for the inside. Oh, obviously got ink on my fingers. It's not showed up there. Let me just rub that. Okay, I've actually got ink on this inside piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit more of the lace effect. Okay, so this is going on the inside. Now, I don't want you to worry. When you look at this, you're going to think that it's not the right size. It is the right size, but what's going to happen is this little piece here is going to stick here. So it is the right size. It's going to be covered. That section's going to be covered. And then this piece is going on the inside. So that's going to be underneath the frame. And we're going to take some glue dots and stick these flowers. Now just take a minute to work out which flower goes where. So, and I'm just going to lift up the petals just to give it a bit more dimension. So that one is that one. So that's going there. And then that one's going there. I want to put some rhinestones in the centre of these. 3 flowers. And then on the front, that needs to go there as well. So that stamped layer is going on the early espresso layer. And then that is going on the front there. Okay. And then this piece has got to go here. Now, this piece is going to stand up like so. And I absolutely recommend that you use double-sided tape for this. And you will know if you've seen any of my videos, Tombow is absolutely my glue of choice. There are times when I will say, actually, you need to use tear and tape, which is what this is, double-sided tape. Just because it needs to grab hold straight away. So the trick to getting this to work properly is you've got your aperture here. What you want to do is press it down. So if you look at the back, there is the fold line there. So press it down, and then you're going to take the tape off. Oh, you're going to try and take the tape liner off. And then you're going to fold the card front up over the top and press it down. And then what will happen is when you open it up, it will have stuck exactly where it needs to be. And you remember I said not to worry, that there was a big gap here? Well, there isn't now. So that's perfect. And now I'm going to get my butterflies. And what I'm going to do is just use my thumb and bend up their wings either side of their body. So that's that one, that's that one, that one, and that one, so that I can stick their bodies down, and then their wings will be flying. And then this one. I just want a few more rhinestones, one on each of their tummies. And then this card is done. So obviously the thing that takes the most amount of time actually is the colouring in and the cutting out. There we go. Okay, so let's straighten everything up. And bring in the original. Very similar. So here you go. So there is the finished card, and it opens up, and it's a beautiful box card on the inside. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Do subscribe to my blog, which is www.inspiringinkin.com, and to YouTube. That way you will always know when I have some more creative inspiration to share. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.